everybody. Welcome to Unmasked. My name is Caris, Snider, and I'm so glad to have you all here with us today. If this is your first time joining in to Unmasked and you may be asking, what is this show going to tell me about? How are they going to fill me in on things? What we're doing here every week is we're talking about those hurts and those struggles that so many of us mask and we hide because we're scared that we're the only ones dealing with those things. And what we want to do is take that mask off. And we want to talk through those struggles together and deal with them and allow hope to be poured in on those struggles and to allow you to realize that you are not alone, that we are in this journey of life together. And as we go through these struggles and as we unmask them, we're going to be able to grow stronger and walk in those purposes and those callings that we all have on our lives. So very quickly, I want to share some exciting information with you. My Coleman TV, we have a podcast now, so you can find us on Spotify and Google Podcasts. We're working on a couple other platforms as well, so stay tuned for that. But make sure you search for My Coleman TV if you like podcasts. This would be a great one to listen to. You can also find me and find the Unmasked show on any of my socials at Caris Snider, or look at my website at carissnider.com. I would love for you guys to follow along there. There's some freebies there for you that you can get when you subscribe. And finally, I am super excited. We are going to be at 3 Pairs right here in Coleman, Alabama, Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. We are going to be doing a book signing for Anxiety Elephants. This is a 31-day devotional that will help you stomp out your anxiety if that's something you deal with. If you have a friend or a family member or maybe a coworker that's really struggling right now, this would be a great gift for them. So I'd love for you guys to come out on Friday, anytime from 1 to 4, to just see you and meet you and hug your necks and hear your stories, because if you don't realize it, you do have a story. You do have a testimony of how far you've come. Sometimes it's good to realize how far you have come. Don't always look at where you're not. Look at where you are right now and where you used to be, and see that process and see how you've gotten there and celebrate that. It's so important. And so just like we talked about anxiety last week, we talked about symptoms. We talked about what anxiety is and that it affects all of us, not just women, but men, and not just people in certain socioeconomic backgrounds or certain parts of the world. It affects so many of us. And many times when we struggle with that anxiety, you may wonder, what is it that is making this happen in my body? Why am I responding this way? Why is my heart racing? Or why is my breathing increasing? Or why do I feel nauseous or like I can't get out of this place? I'm paralyzed in fear. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what could be triggering your anxiety. Because if you know your triggers, then this can help you already be prepared. You're going to have a plan on what to do if those anxiety elephants or if that anxiety comes at you. So that's what we want to kind of help you with today. Now, let me say this. I am not going to be talking about all the triggers of anxiety today because there are many. But I want to give you a few of what most people typically may deal with. You're going to have 2 to 3 that normally will trigger that anxiety to come into you, to overwhelm you, to make you feel like you've lost control. So the first thing that I want to talk about is sickness. Sickness can be something that will trigger anxiety within you. It could be maybe you got a cancer diagnosis. Maybe a family member or a coworker got a cancer diagnosis or another disease that has attacked their body. And so that makes you worry. It causes you to wonder about the unknown. Again, it takes that control away from you and you begin to doubt and have fear. Another sickness that can cause many of us, hello moms, flu season, we are in it right now, am I right? It can make us wonder, okay, did everybody wash their hands at school? Are they using the Clorox wipes? Are they using that Lysol spray? We panic, we freak out. We ask our kids, I'll say I do. I don't know if y'all do this, but I'll ask my girls, was there anybody out in your class today? How many kids are out? Do you know if they had flu? Like, we just allow our minds to go to that worst case scenario when there is sickness around us. So if we can kind of keep that at bay and understand, like this time of year, for example, things are going to come up like that, we can be prepared. We can wash our hands. We can take our vitamins. We can do all those things that we know to help on our end with sickness. And if there is a sickness diagnosis, we can pray. We can come together. We can bring in our community, our tribe, and ask them to walk that road with us. So another trigger of anxiety, believe it or not, can be over-the-counter medication. There are certain things in certain medications that can cause you to feel nauseous, can cause you to feel dizzy. It can cause your heart rate to increase. So you want to make sure that you're reading the labels on your over-the-counter medication and pay attention to your body. If you're taking Tylenol or ibuprofen, or maybe you're taking something for allergies, and see how your body is responding to it. And I would also encourage you, if you're looking at taking a new over-the-counter medication, you may want to reach out to your doctor and just ask them about some of the ingredients in that. But it's good to be aware of what you're putting in your body. Which brings me to another one, caffeine. You guys, I love coffee. I don't know about you, but coffee is, if I could drink coffee like morning, day, and night, I would. I absolutely love it, but I know that caffeine is a trigger for me personally. And if I drink more than 2, sometimes 3 cups of coffee a day, it's gonna trigger that anxiety in me. My heart's gonna begin to race, and I'm gonna begin to feel those symptoms of anxiety that I deal with. So you need to look at that caffeine intake that you have. Maybe it's not coffee for you. It could be soft drinks. Maybe you are a Diet Coke fan, you're a Mountain Dew fan, maybe you're an energy drink fan. So take a look at that and just see, how many of these am I drinking a day? Is this what is causing my anxiety to kind of raise up in me? And if so, pull back. Try it today. Pull back. Instead of drinking 3 cups of coffee, only drink 2 and add in some water and see how your body responds. Now, it may take it a little while to adjust to not as much caffeine, but I promise you're going to feel better. Another one, skipping meals. We are in this society where we feel like we got to work, and go. And sometimes we forget to eat. Sometimes we forget to fuel our bodies, or we're in that society where we're looking at social media or we're looking at those magazines and we're comparing our bodies to these images that are edited or photoshopped, and we think we got to look that way, so we don't feed ourselves. We begin to starve ourselves. And when we starve ourselves, we're not giving our bodies the nutrients and the fuel that it needs to function and be balanced. So make sure that you are eating. Even if you're eating smaller meals in the day and you're eating snacks, make sure to have something good and healthy with you. If it's a protein bar or an apple, having those things with you and just reminding yourself, oh, I need to eat something. I'm beginning to feel my blood sugar drop. I'm beginning to feel a little nauseous. When you begin to feel those things happen, if you have those foods with you, it's going to balance your body out. It's going to calm down those nerves and those emotions, and you're going to be able to continue functioning throughout the day. A couple of more for you guys. There is money. Money can be a trigger for us. We've talked a little bit about this already. When you think about your finances, you look at debt, you look at your savings, you look at what's coming. Maybe you're saving for your kiddo for college. Maybe you have some other things coming up that you know you're going to have to pay for. And when we look at money as a whole, it can be easy to be overwhelmed. Maybe you think back to how you grew up and what money was like for you growing up. So when you look at money, instead of allowing it to trigger that anxiety for you, have a plan. Be prepared. How do you want your finances to go? Make a budget. I know that's hard. That's even hard and scary for me. My husband can probably attest to that for you. But when we are planned and we're prepared, then that anxiety cannot overtake us, and we're gonna be able to think clearer about our money and what we wanna do with it. Stress gets all of us. I would say that's a trigger for probably every person that is watching right now, and even those that are not. We can get stressed over everything in our life, and it can overwhelm us. We get overworked, and we get overrun with that emotion. And because of stress, that can cause us to not eat, to not sleep, to want to drink caffeine. So we need to slow down, and we need to look at our life, and we need to say, okay, what can I let go of? What can I say no to so that I can leave that margin within my life to breathe and take this one step at a time? We don't have to make ourselves busy where we're constantly running in that wheel. Step out of the wheel and look at your life and decide what you can let go of for right now to better your life in the future. And lastly, I would say that there are going to be personal triggers for every single one of you. For me, even in my own life, personal triggers are going to be an event that you think of, maybe from your childhood, maybe something traumatic that happened to you as an adult. It could be a smell that triggers that. It could be a thought. It could be a place that you drive by that maybe you haven't driven by in months or years. It could be a person that you haven't seen and then you see that person. That can be a personal trigger for you that brings back something that you're still struggling with and that you're still dealing with. So even those type of things, when you sense that and you feel it come on you, just remember to take those deep breaths, call up a friend if you need to and say, hey, can you let me talk through this with you, or can you pray with me right now? This is something very hard for me and I need help to walk through this. It's okay to include people in on those hurts and those struggles. That's why we're doing this show, because we want to walk through those with you together. So I know those are a lot of triggers that we talked about, things like stress and money and over-the-counter medication and sickness and different personal triggers. But what we're going to talk about next week is, okay, I know the symptoms, I know what could trigger it, but how do I cope with this? How do I overcome this anxiety where I can go out and live life to the fullest? And so next week, I'm going to share with you guys the things that helped me, the action steps that helped me in coping with my anxiety and then overcoming it and living my life to the fullest, to the way God had intended for us to live it. And by me being able to do that, I want to help you guys do that as well. So I want to thank you for watching Unmasked, for being a part of this show. Again, what we're wanting to do here is unmask those real hurts and those real struggles and pour in real hope. So thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week.